Alright, yo guys, what is up? What is going on? I'm back here, top 4 Madison Regional VOD review. Couple things I wanted to quickly mention. One, my roommates are up a little bit earlier than usual, so if there's any background screaming, I'm going to preemptively apologize for that. The second is, I do make mistakes when VOD reviewing these videos. I'm trying to get better at it. It's hard for me to keep up with everything while I'm talking, but if you do see any mistakes that I make, feel free to point them out in the comments below. I can only learn from it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this top 4 match. We got Igor Costa playing BuzzRoc with the triple baby buzz versus Ian Robb with the BuzzGarb. So let's go ahead and get into it. Looks like we got Ian going first. Early order pad. Nice. See the heads. I assume this will be for something either Fighting Fury Belt or some way to find Trubbish. Is what you want to use. Generally look for early on. If he doesn't already have a supporter in hand, then he'll have to go, treasure for supporter. We see the nest ball. I'm just going to assume this is going for Trubbish. Second order path. Let's see what we get. Looks like it might be a reroll. Yeah, let's get another one. Let's see what we got. Tails. All right, so we got the one. Let's see the nest ball. I'm just going to assume, yeah, Trubbish. Trubbish is usually what you see. You just want to get out the turn 2 Garbodor. So we usually see the Trubbish early on. There it is, the Trubbish. With the BuzzGX, that's solid. Another BuzzGX. And the Fighting Fury Belt and the Strong. Okay, so I mentioned this before. So I don't like this BuzzGX playdown. Basically because it allows Igor to preemptively, like I mentioned, preemptively break the Fighting Fury Belt health by jet punching this benched GX. And that's like your way to win as Ian, is to set up ideally 2 fresh Buzzle GXs with Fighting Fury Belts. This Fighting Fury Belt is fine here. But now if Igor's gets the option to go like, jet punch with a Strong himself, punch this 30 there, he like breaks the Fighting Fury Belt before it even gets to come into play. And that's where I feel like the BuzzGarb deck can gain its edge. You don't have Lycanroc. You only play the 1 baby buzz, so you can't like string a bunch of baby buzz in a row to make it really awkward on the prize exchange. So I feel like where the Buzzwole gets its advantage is you set up the fresh Buzzwole GX with a Fighting Fury Belt with the Beast Ring. And that's where you get the advantage as the BuzzGarb in this matchup. For Igor, he has a bunch of stuff he can do. Go down the line of Buzzle GXs. He can do stuff like get the Lycanroc, get effectiveness out of Lycanroc. Like I said, run 3 baby Buzzle in a row, make the prize exchange weird for Ian. So Igor has like a lot of options of stuff to do, whereas Ian is a lot more limited. The deck is a little bit more straightforward, but it tries to consistently do that. So may as well abuse that, and he's not abusing that here. I'm not really sure what his thought process is in there. By benching the Buzzle GX is pretty unlikely Igor would get. We do see the double max elixir on Igor's hand, so he might get off like the turn 1 absorption knockout, which it is possible, but I wouldn't play around my opponent getting that ever personally. I think we see the discard of the Super Rod and the Lycanroc turn 1, so we're not going to see a Lycanroc at all this game from Igor, which is generally fine. It's not necessary to have. You still have plenty of attackers to be able to deal with Ian's board. So if we don't see a turn 1 absorption from Igor, he'll probably at least be looking to jet punch. Oh man, yeah, we could see it get pretty out of hand for Igor early on. Generally, Ian's deck, the BuzzGarb, wants a couple turns to like thin out the deck and make it so it's easy to find stuff early on, and then we see the other energy. So I mean, this is the thing. This is the play you hope it never happens early on. Is Ian, you want turns to set up a couple jet punches. So Igor's looking for Float Stone. Energy. At the very least, he wants to see an energy here. He does not want to whiff energy for turn. That's like the last thing you want to whiff as Igor. I see the energy. I don't see a Float Stone though. He's debating Brooklet Hill. I don't want to see him put down Brooklet Hill if he doesn't have to, and I don't think he has to. But he is going with it. Thinking about Buzzwole GX. I think Buzzwole GX is probably the best way to go, because if he's just going to start being really aggressive with Buzzwole GX on his next turn, which he currently has the option to, then you want you're gonna need a follow-up of another Buzzle GX on the back end. So I don't know about these attachments. How much does absorption do? 40, 80, actually 240. Okay, the absorption gets knocked out no matter what. Yeah, so the attaches here make sense then, actually. Because that way he can just put a basic energy here, bring this up for the knockout. I think it would have been fine if he had set this up fully, so that way he has the option to retreat the Remoraid, or retreat. I mean, I guess if Ian brought up anything else, Ian's going to knock out the Remoraid probably anyways, actually. Yeah, it might be fine then. Yeah, it should be fine then, actually. Ian's knocking out the Remoraid. In my head, I was thinking the Ramrod could get stuck, but the Ramrod's probably not going to get stuck. These are going to get knocked out, or Ian would bring up the Diancie, I think, to lock it up. So once again, I mean, at this point, it's fine for, I think, Ian to get the other BuzzRoc. I didn't like him getting the first BuzzRoc because I would like to see him have the play into the option of not allowing him to get jet punched. But we see with how aggressive of a start Igor has, the game's just going to start snowballing out of control anyways, and jet punches, besides maybe Ian's one jet punch, is not going to happen in this game. So he actually stacks a second energy on the BuzzGG. I'm not sure why he did that, unless he's planning to not jet punch this turn. Let me just, how much absorption does 40 times? So 40, 80, 160, 240. Yeah, so this just gets knocked out by an absorption. Sorry, it's a little early for me. A little bit slow on the math. Yeah, so absorption just gets a knockout here. I'm not sure what the problem was there. Man, this happens on so many games. Or something comes up where it's like judges are not following the game, and we have these little stits of. Okay, it looks like they can resume. All right, 6. You see, Igor has the float zone and just a lot of energy. So we'll see. I mean, so yeah, Ian, you want to go with the jet punch here because you want to avoid Baby Buzzwole being a huge factor. I assuming Ian's Baby Buzzwole was prized, that's why he didn't find it. 30 there. We should just see an absorption here from Igor. I don't know what he top decked, but yeah, not much else besides an absorption is going to be very good here. There's the Brooklet Hill. I almost would have liked to have seen him attach these. What did he Brooklet Hill for? He Brooklet Hill for this. So if he had Brooklet Hill for a Baby Buzz, he could have loaded this up on a Baby Buzz, actually, which I think would have been a little bit better. Because then it gives the potential for the Baby Buzz to actually respond and one-shot a GX. Maybe he whiffs Garb so Diancie sticks. Maybe you get the Beast Energy like he currently has. And then you could have gotten the Buzzwole GX this turn to attach to it, or just put it in play so you could Beast Ring and then attach to it. No, I guess this is fine, because if you find the Beast Ring, or Beast Ring for 1 energy, or Max Elixir for 1 energy, and then you attach like Second Charm or something, this can then knock out a GX. No, I guess this is probably the correct way to go, yeah. Float on the Diancie is High's Retreat. Okay, he's got an N. He needs to find Beast Ring, he needs to find Sycamore, he needs to find Max Elixir. He needs to find any form of energy acceleration or a way to draw into energy acceleration on the following turn. So I guess you just get the Baby Buzz here as kind of a safety net of if this dies, you definitely just want the Baby Buzz in play as a safety net, because if this gets knocked out, he maybe also doesn't fully know what Ian Rob's decks looked like, so he doesn't know if he plays Field Blower, Stadiums to counter the Brooklet, so he might not be able to find one if he doesn't get it right now. So you may as well thin it out first, because you definitely just want it. Because if this gets knocked out by Ian, and then you are unable to find the follow up. He whiffs the Max Elixir, so if he's unable to follow up with the big Buzz GX, you just want to throw something at it, which is the Baby Buzz, works perfectly there. And this is why I really did not like this energy attachment from Ian. It kind of makes no sense, especially if you're knocking out the Remraid. If he was going to get cheeky and be like, I'm just going to hope the Remraid stays active this turn, and I'm not going to knock it out, that would be different. But he's knocking out the Remraid, and he knew he was doing that, so why wouldn't you attach to one of your bench Buzzwoles? Because you know Igor's going to absorption you. Like, there's no way Igor never absorptions you here, so why would you attach that energy to the active? Especially when you can set up this jet punch damage, so like you could go triple basic energy. You could just get a Beast Ring on this one, and then like attach a strong, and maybe even get a Beast Ring on this one. So that energy attachment was really weird from Ian and made absolutely no sense. Especially when the Lycanroc and Super Rod went down. I think I don't know if everyone at this point knew that the Igor's list is one where the 1/1 Octillery, 1/1 Lycanroc. It is. I'm not sure if everyone knew that if Ian knew that at this point in the tournament. We're pretty deep into the tournament, so I'd imagine he knew, but unsure. See, this Buzzwole could have been ready to go already. That's actually a huge mistake, and could just cost Ian the game, actually, if he's just unable to find enough energy throughout the game now. If he just had that basic energy here already, he brings it up and absorptions himself. Probably absorptions, because Igor's not quite set up, but he might be afraid of the what's it called anyways? Beast Ring. Beast Ring response. There we go, another Buzzwole. Yeah. It makes no sense the way when Ian attached that energy. That energy attachment was really weird from Ian to attach a second to the active Buzzwole. Because like right here, he's got 3 on this. He could have another energy right here on this Buzzwole. There's no reason you wouldn't want that, right? Yeah, it was definitely a weird attachment from Ian. Definitely incorrect. Another beast ring is pretty good. That's all Ian's really looking for. In this situation, you would maybe just get one if you already had another energy here. You'd probably still get two. Oh, another beast ring. Sheesh. Oh, he's maybe just gonna fail it. I don't know what that was. It's fine. We should see. Oh, he's knuckle impacting. Interesting. I'm not a huge fan of that. I guess it's not terrible though. He must have a Guzma in hand if he's going for the knuckle impact. I don't see a reason not to absorption here, really. I mean, it's possible you respond knocked out by this. It's possible. All right, here's the big. Okay, he hit, but he needs another strong energy or beast energy to actually take the knockout with the BuzzRoc. There really makes no sense. There's no sense not to attach it to the BuzzRoc because if you at least have a supporter to go dig for energy, you would want to like just bet on, you know, if you whiff the strong or whatever, you could probably just hit with a baby Buzzle this turn. Yeah, definitely just goes to the BuzzGX as long as his hand isn't dead. If his hand is actually dead, it might change. Ooh, and a beast ring. All right. Those go to the baby buzz, I think, for sure. And then once again, you still want to look for a stronger beast. Now if you just hit a basic energy, you could hit it with a swing around. Yeah, swing around would probably be the best way to go. Yeah, and there's a Sycamore. So yeah, you definitely just put it on the Buzzle GX and try and find. Yeah, there we go. There's the strong. So we should see the knuckle impact here from Igor to knock out the active. Just counting, making sure he has the correct amount of damage. He's got decent follow-up. The Lele on the bench is, oh my gosh, another beast ring. Should go to a fresh baby Buzzwole, I would assume. Set up for 2 swing arounds. Unfortunately, Igor does have the Lele in play, which means it is possible Ian can go knockout active, then Guzma knockout Lele. And Igor runs a low end count in his deck. So, I mean, if Ian just has that play, then Ian will probably stick. Probably wants to thin out his hand here, Igor. Yeah, I see an Ultra Ball, so he probably wants to thin it out if he can. Ultra Balls don't really do him any more good at this point. Looks like he's just going to go with the Knuckle Impact, though. He maybe didn't have... he maybe wanted to keep the cards he had. I know there was at least a Beast Energy in hand. Okay, so there's the Beast Energy already. Sycamore. Draw 7. Garb. Fighting Fury Belt. Yeah, and this is where it might get tricky for Igor. If Ian just has a Guzma in hand, Ian just pretty much wins. Igor might just have to bet he doesn't have a Guzma and just hope and just hit into this and then hit into it again the next turn. I don't think it's possible for him to get the knockout this turn. No, not with the Fighting Fury Belt. So he just has to commit the beast. If he has an N, that's ideal from Igor here. So I think he had 2 Ultra Ball and that in the hand last turn. So I'm not sure why he didn't play that last turn. There's no reason he would want to keep that around. I guess the Regirock goes with a Cynthia. Yeah, so it's really just going to come down to if Ian has the Guzma in hand or not. If he does, he should... I'm pretty sure the game is just going to be closed out here. If he doesn't, then there's a chance Igor could come back. I'm also not sure why he didn't just bench the Regirock initially off the first Ultra Ball. Especially if he benches it now. Because then there's a potential for him to just draw it. So he should have just benched this off that first Ultra Ball when he put it in his hand and then Cynthia it back into the deck. I think he was maybe thinking he wanted to keep his bench space open, but there's really nothing to keep your bench space open here for. So you should just bench off the first one and then Cynthia, whatever. And then, yeah, there's the Guzma from Ian to reset the Knuckle Impact and get the knockout. That's pretty much how the game plays out. Igor wasn't able to get Like You're Not going at all, so he didn't have that as an option. He wasn't able to abuse Baby Buzzwole, which is also another big deal. This is like a way more ideal start here from Igor. The Baby Buzzwole, start swinging in with Baby Buzzwoles early and just do that a lot. It's much harder for Ian to then play around Sledgehammer. There we go. Choice Band Strong. That's exactly what Igor's looking for. So much better start here from Igor. I'm not a huge fan of the bench Rockruff. I almost would like to have seen him hold it because he had the Floatstone in hand, and you kind of want to keep access to a free retreater, especially to try and like KO Trebuchets off of Guzma earlier. He definitely has to bench it because having that option of like next turn going Diancie Guzma knock out his lone Trebuchet is so big for Igor that you can't not put something with free retreat in play if you have it. So it's kind of unfortunate to bench the Rockruff here right now, because it will just get hit by a Jet Punch. That is something you can try and avoid doing in this matchup in general. Is just not putting down anything for them relevant for them to Jet Punch. Like benching Diancie is fine. They'll do 32 a Diancie. They already play Garb. They're going to shut it off anyways. It's not that big of a deal. Putting on the Rockruff, like an attacker you want to eventually set up. Pretty much benching any attacker here. Anything here for Igor besides Diancie, or even Regirock. Regirock would be fine to bench here. It's an EX slash GX, so you wouldn't want to put in play if you didn't have to. But if you could give it a float stone, that'd be better than Rockruff, because you really don't want your Rockruff to get hit if you can avoid it. It didn't look like, I mean, Igor couldn't avoid it just because it's way more ideal for him to just have the free retreat option in play than not. So we'll see the Cynthia from Ian. All Ian really needs here is an energy. That's it. He doesn't need to bench anything or do anything. And when the game develops like this early on, I think it's fine for Ian to go ahead and bench BuzzRoc because it looks like Igor's not going to be going into BuzzRoc himself early on. So there's no threat of the Jet Punch coming down and kind of preemptively, like I've said, preemptively breaking the Focus Sash. So actually, this is pretty good for Igor. Ian did not hit one of the special energies. So there's really no threat of the Buzzwole getting 2-shot. So the Baby Buzz is probably going to get 3-shot, which is perfect for Igor. I would actually like to see this Lycanroc come out and Igor knock out that Trubbish. It protects the Rockruff. Ian could do like a Guzma, knock out Rockruff next turn. That's not ideal for Ian, but if it's all he has, it's definitely not a thing that could come up. Also, if you don't find Lycanroc now, maybe he gets Jet Punched over 2 turns. Oh, he's got the Diancie in hand too. Just doing the math, making sure it's all there. I think he's thinking swing around potentially on the following turn to one-shot the Buzzwole. So I think the strong active is probably correct. Let's do some math here. If we get like a 3rd strong, we hit 1 heads. No, it's not great. So I think it maybe just goes to the Lycanroc. But now it offers up the 2-shot a little bit easier on the Buzzwole. So you could Sledgehammer it twice instead. So actually, it also opens up the possibility, attaching an active opens up the possibility of like a double heads on swing around, which is like fine to play into. Yeah, to go a little lucky, but it's fine. I don't think he'd hit. If we assume he hits 1 heads, he'd be 100, 3 strongs plus choice 90. Yeah, it'd be 210 with the Diancie and 1 heads. Max Elixir definitely goes to Buzz. Yeah, benching the Buzzwoles is not as big of a deal for Igor. Of course, them getting hit once or twice means the Baby Buzzwole can do a follow up, but not anymore because Igor's actually playing around the Sledgehammer here by knocking out the Trubbish. And kind of just knocking out Trubbish is like what you want to do if you have that as an early option, especially in this situation where your Baby Buzzwole's not even being 2-shot. Like this is like a perfect situation for Igor. He got to use the Lycanroc efficiently turn 2 to KO the Trubbish, and I guess that's why Rockruff down turn 1 is fine. You just don't get to utilize it as well of an attacker because usually if you can get a clean Lycanroc into GXing, knocking out a Buzzwole or something, they can't usually one-shot it back if it's clean. But having the option of the turn 2 Bloodthirsty Eyes is maybe just better to KO the Trubbish than not putting it down. Even if you had the option to not put it down, yeah, I guess. So I guess putting the Rockruff down turn 1 is just the play you want to go with anyways. It gives you the option to KO in the Trubbish turn 2. Yeah, so yeah, even if he had the choice to not put down the Rockruff to give it the free and something else to get free retreat, putting down Rockruff is still probably actually correct because you get that option of the Bloodthirsty Eyes on the Trubbish, which is just too good to pass up, I think. And now we see Ian in not a terrible spot, but definitely not a great spot. No follow-up Trubbish. Gets another Buzzwole with a basic energy. He's ideally looking for the bigger energy. He doesn't want to burn too many basic energy because then it becomes harder in the late game to make your Beast Ring super effective. Like sometimes you actually can just like run out of basic energy, which is unfortunate when it happens. We see another Buzz GX from Igor, and he's gonna go for the double heads. I think he needs 2 heads here. Double tails. That's unfortunate. I don't even think this sets it up to be Jet Punched. I'm not sure how much did it do? 190? Yeah. So if he had just hit 1 heads, he could have Jet Punched his Buzzwole to knock it out. So that's unfortunate. We do see Ian has to commit the strong energy because there's no way he can leave this Baby Buzzwole alive for a turn. I guess he can Jet Punch it. I was thinking maybe Jet Punch it off the bench, but actually he can Jet Punch it through the active because he has Diancie. So yeah, actually no, this sets up fine actually for Igor. He can just Jet Punch it through the active. Not ideal to go Jet Punch to knock it out with Jet Punch's turn. Double heads would have been really nice for Igor. He would have got the knockout. But settling for this isn't terrible. 30 on the other BuzzGG. Yep, setting him up so that baby Buzzwole can maybe take care of one of them. Or if he only gets like a Beast Ring to the BuzzGX on his bench. I mean, I guess he still has Absorption, so Absorption won't take care of the first one, but then I guess Knuckle Impact could potentially take care of the second one. So he sets him up for the Knuckle Impact. I think... Okay, yeah. Oh... Does it knock out? No. Yeah, it doesn't knock out. All right, so that was a... Yeah. That's unfortunate. That's where the two tails did come in pretty big. It's not actually terrible for Igor. It's not great, obviously. Now now Ian has the potential to hit the Guzma plus energy here. So Igor definitely wanted to take that knockout. And just not play the Guzma there, I don't think. I think Igor thought he had that knockout too. See the Guzma. I think Igor just reaches for his prizes immediately. Oh. Oh, he even saw his prize. Yeah. So he did see one of his prizes. I don't know if that's going to be a... I don't know if anyone else knows. I don't know if that's a penalty or not. It looked like Igor saw one of his prizes. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I'm not sure if he saw it. Yeah, he thought he was knocking out for sure as he reached for his prizes. Ian thought it was knocked out. Got the table judge there. Caught him. Yeah. So Igor would have definitely, if he had, I think he had noticed that, he would have definitely preferred to have just gone hit this 30 here. The damage on this isn't super relevant. The extra damage is nice, so you take it, I think, in this situation. But even then, I don't know. I would have maybe rather saved the Guzma to have more options to chase Trubbishes anyways. Don't know out to chase Trubbish. So the 50 damage here doesn't seem super relevant. 30. There's no Trubbish setup right now. So if Ian follows up with, if you kill this through the active, put 30 here. One, Ian loses an energy. The other thing would be Ian is still gonna knock out your active with this through a Beast Ring and activate your Beast Ring, and then you just respond, knock this out with Knuckle Impact. Yeah, so it was definitely unnecessary. The Guzma there was definitely unnecessary, and then it opens up this play for Ian. Where he's going to attach an energy here, and then Guzma knock this out. So it was actually a pretty big blunder from Igor. You don't see that a lot from Igor, but yeah, he thought he had the knockout. Ian thought he had the knockout even. He was 10 damage short. Yeah, 10 damage short. And he is getting punished for it. It's always good to see someone get punished for a mistake, though. I will admit that. Yeah, he's going to get punished for it. And that means Ian is going to be able to utilize these two energy that he otherwise wouldn't have on the Buzzwole. And we should just see a Knuckle Impact. I don't think he ever absorptions here. Sheesh. We're going to see the Beast Ring from Igor. I think he pretty much has to hope Ian has a dead hand, or Igor's going to have to end here to get back into this one. We'll see what he's got. Choice Band. Okay, Sycamore. Not great. I think ideally he swings with a baby Buzzwole here. He doesn't want to put up that big BuzzRoc with the 3 energy to maybe just go get knocked out by a Beast Ring. It's not looking good for Igor. Yep, there it goes. BuzzRoc, go with the Knuckle Impact. Oh, no, he can go with the Jet Punch here, actually. He doesn't have the Knuckle Impact. He has the Jet Punch. That's right. This thing is 1 HP left. Goes with the Jet Punch. So we just... I don't know. So I see... So Ian's going for a Nest Ball immediately. Let's see. Lycanroc is currently doing 100 with 2, 140, 150, 160. Yeah, he doesn't want to bench any Pokemon here because a second Strong would make it so he just gets knocked out. He doesn't want to get another Pokemon here for sure. If he has a supporter, you just play a supporter and you try and find a Beast Ring, knock this out, and then you maybe go look for another Buzzwole. You maybe look for another Buzzwole if... would have been nice to get the Fighting Fury Ball on the Buzzwole, though. That's for sure. Attach Strong. N would Beast have been a little bit better? I don't know. Because he definitely wants a GX here. Let's see how much he's doing. 120, 150, 160. Oh, yeah, the Beast would have been way better. The Beast energy actually would have just, like, won him the game if he finds a Beast Ring. Because if he has a Strong here, unless I'm doing the math wrong, 120, 140, 150, that doesn't knock this out. So now he can't GX this. So if he could GX this, then he not follows up with Knuckle Impact and wins the game. So that's actually a big mistake by Ian right there, to not attach the Beast energy over the Strong. Because if he finds Beast Ring here, he literally wins the game. Yeah, if Ian finds Beast Ring here, he wins the game. If he had attached the Beast energy. Now he doesn't just win the game. Ian scoops. Okay. Yeah. So it didn't matter anyway. He didn't find the Beast Ring at all. He's definitely still looking for Beast Ring there because he attaches the initial strong energy. But let me just go back and make sure. So he's doing 120, 140, 150. Not enough. Beast energy. He had the Beast energy as an option. I'm almost positive. Let's go back a little bit more. I just want to confirm. All right, now he's counting if he wants to bench the Pokemon. Looks back through his hand. Yeah, he has the Beast energy. So that's actually a pretty big mistake there from Ian, even though it didn't end up mattering. Like, that's huge. That could have been game-changing. Because if he attaches the Strong, he has to commit to do Knuckle Impact to get the knockout. And he definitely wants to knock this out this turn. And then it's possible Igor could, like, end him as a follow-up and then GX with Lycanroc for the not knockout into a Claw Slash with Lycanroc on the following turn. And then the puzzle is probably just stuck active. But if he attaches the Beast here, hits the Beast Ring, GXs, and then Knuckle Impacts. Like, if he just GXs this turn with the Beast Energy, gets the Beast Ring, he just wins the game. Because next turn, he just Knuckle Impacts. That's actually a big error there from Ian to attach the Strong over the Beast. All right. Headed into game 3 pretty quickly. Yeah, not a great draw from Ian there. We saw when Ian drew decently in the game 1. And it was an aggressive game, which means the Buzzwole with the Fighting Fury Belts were allowed to stick. Definitely a lot better for Ian. And that's basically all you're looking for on Ian's side. You want fresh Buzzwoles with Fighting Fury Belts. That's it. If they're that clean, it's really hard for Igor to get the knockouts. Let's go ahead a little bit. All right, there we go. Initial Order Pad. Trubbish, that's all he was looking for anyways, pretty much. Basic Energy. In this instance, so for me personally, in this instance, I wouldn't have attached the Basic Energy. I like to get the special energies on the Buzzwoles early on, save the Basic Energy, because you never know how the rest of your turns are going to play out. One of the things is, if your turns play out poorly, you might just not have enough Basic Energy in your deck eventually to use Beast Rings, which can happen, or you're not going to have enough. Like, you might be able to get 1 Beast Ring for 2, 1 for 1. You could have got it for 2 if you had just Cynthia instead of attaching this energy and tried to find a special. So I would have preferred it if Ian doesn't attach here and he Cynthia's. Like, it's very unlikely he whiffs an energy completely. So just play the Cynthia, try to hit a special. If you only run into a basic, attach the basic. It also means it's easier for him to set up the 2-shot on the first Buzzwole, which you definitely don't want this thing to hit you 3 times. You definitely want to try and 2-shot it, or 2 times in this, 3 times in this instant, because Igor's going second. But now he doesn't have that option. Let's see. I don't know what he drew. Nest Ball. I don't want him to see him get another Buzzwole GX here, but I think he's going to. Yeah, I don't like this yet. I would like to see Igor play out 1 turn before you start benching Buzzwole GX, because it's still possible Igor goes with the Jet Punch early on. Like Flowstone to Buzz GX, Jet Punch. You preemptively break what could be a Fighting Fury Belt on the Buzz GX. Not a big fan of that. See Igor's hand. He's got a Max Elixir, an Ultra Ball for a Pokemon. Strong Energy to the active, so he can start swinging pretty hard. So it looks all good on Igor's side, unless that's 2 Guzmas. No, there we see a Sycamore. So unfortunately, he has to get rid of 2 basic energy. He does play the Super Rod, so this isn't completely crippling on turn 1. Probably going to go for a Buzz GX, because once again, it's not as relevant for if Ian gets Jet Punch damage on the bench. So I assume we're just going to see a Buzz GX here for maybe if there's 1 Trubbish. Oh, Diancie. I like Diancie, actually. Especially because, yeah, even if Igor didn't know what Ian's deck was like before, he should know now. There's no way the Baby Buzzwole gets knocked out next turn. It's possible he whiffs Garbodor. Oh, he's actually going to get the KO on a Trubbish. I actually like this. He had the Guzma in hand. I like this. This is really good for Igor. I can't tell. Does he have a Float Stone in hand? I don't think so. I think it's a Max Elixir and something else. So it's unfortunate he's not going to be able to utilize the Max Elixir immediately, but can't have it all. Another Buzz GX. At this point, I'm fine with benching Buzz GXs because I think it's at a point. It's unfortunate he has to end Igor, actually. Igor's definitely likes that, I would assume. Saves the Max Elixir. His only other option for draw supporter, I think, was Sycamore in hand. Saves so he gets to save the Max Elixir, which is big. You want to try and utilize those as many of those as possible. Once again, they're being stopped. Definitely would have liked to have seen this Strong Energy. So hang on, actually, Ian maybe had this Strong in hand. So this is what I was talking about. Let's just go back to it and see if he did have it in hand or he top decked it. Knockout. Draw. I don't think that was. Yeah, I think that was an Order Pad. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So he gets to attach a Strong here anyways, but I would have liked to have seen the option for like 2 Strongs or Be Strong. So he can Jet Punch this twice and knock it out. Now he's going to put 1 Strong, I guess he still gets this option, but then he has to commit another energy, which you don't want to do. You don't want to waste energy attachments in this deck. So if he had Cynthia at first before attaching the basic, I'm pretty sure he top decked Order Pass. That means he had strong in hand. He can go attach strong this turn, play end, look for another strong, attach strong, jet punch, or you can find the strong on the next turn, attach basic to bench, jet punch, knock out the Buzzwole. But now if he wants to jet punch KO it twice, jet punch 2-shot it, he'll have to attach strong because he's doing 50, 60. And now he's going to have to attach another strong in the jet punch. So you waste an energy attachment there, basically. So I would have, on the first Cynthia, I would like to have seen him shuffle the basic energy into the deck and look for a special energy. If you don't find it, you should attach the basic. But it's possible you do find it. And it's even possible you should attach the basic to the bench if that's what you have. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on here. All right, they got over it. All right, there's the Garbodor. Ideally, Igor would like to KO that Garbodor. I don't know if he has that option. Yeah, if he has Beast Energy, Flowstone, Guzma, KO Garb would be pretty good. Then he falls into the Baby Buzz range, which would be unfortunate, actually, for Igor. Brooklet comes out. At this point, it doesn't really matter if he gets it. Yeah, ideally, he wants to go with just 3 Baby Buzzwoles in a row here, I think. Run the triple Baby Buzz on him, on Ian, and just run with that initially. I don't think he really needs to look into getting BuzzGXs out or setting them up anytime soon. Choice Band should go active, I think. Oh, he's got the Goose. So he's just going to try and trap it, maybe? Or his hand might be dead, so he doesn't have a choice. Choice Band to the bench, and he's just going to swing. I guess he sets it up. He actually sets it up for a Jet Punch. Yeah, it was a heads. He actually sets it up for a Jet Punch here. The Garb to be KO'd with a Jet Punch, which is actually pretty big. So right now, he doesn't even have to KO it. All right, so I think they had a problem with the die roll. I actually think I remember this at the event. Okay, we're good. Heads. It was definitely going to be a heads. Ian was just a little aggressive. So now Igor can plan to close out the game through a Jet Punch on the Garb, or set up some kind of double Jet Punch play. Most likely like KO 2 Buzzwoles and then Jet Punch a Garb to close out the game. So that's actually really nice to have this 70 on the Garbodor to close out the game. Or KO it at any point in the game if he wants to get, if he wants to find a way to get abilities back. So here's the third Baby Buzz. And so we're talking about running 3 Baby Buzz in a row. He can hit with this active one for 80, and then he wants to try and set up a Sledgehammer to knock out the Buzzwole GX. And then from there, probably look to Beastring / Maxilix or set up some Buzzwole GXs. Maybe the Lycanroc if it's available to him and not prized. But this is like a fine, like even though Igor's bench and setup doesn't look quite as good as Ian's, this is what he wants to go for here. The triple Baby Buzz. He needs to find a choice band for the bench one, so it can actually follow up and KO this Buzz GX in the active. Because this Buzzwole should be knocking out the active Baby Buzz. Yep, it's just gonna be a swing from Igor. Ian's side. Strong energy. And although it one other comment I want to make about the energy attachments that I made earlier is although it seems like it played out really well here for Ian, he's like, oh, you attach a basic, attach strong, attach basic. It only played out so well because Igor had the options of bringing up Trubbish, bringing up Garbodor, so on. If Igor hadn't played out this way, it would have definitely just developed more into Jet Punches from Ian. So then having the extra basic there wouldn't have played out as well. And he still had this option if he had just, but I feel like digging for the initial strong is just so beneficial that you want to just dig for the initial strong first, and then if you only end up with basics and you attach basics, you still follow up with a basic or any other energy on your active Buzzwole, probably depending on the situation. If you feel like it's just gonna develop into Jet Punches for the next few turns, you won't commit it. But I feel like definitely trying to dig for the strong and not attach a basic to your active Buzzwole initially is definitely the way to go about it. And it opens up more options and more lines of gameplay if you get the initial special energy on your first Buzzwole as opposed to a basic energy. It just gives you way more options. So I feel like still digging for even though it played out decently like this for Ian this time, it's only because Igor kept just bringing up Garbodors, bringing up Trubbishes, and punching those, over punching the Buzzwole. If he had been punching the Buzzwole, it probably would have de-evolved into more Jet Punches from Ian, or the gameplay would have evolved into more Jet Punches from Ian. So we see just draw and play N from Ian. I wonder if actually Igor actually has the potential here to completely play around Beastring from Ian by knocking out the Buzzwole GX and the Garbodor in the same turn. He needs a lot to do it, but he definitely can pull that play off. We'll just have to see how the game develops. Let's see, he can do his active Buzzwole will get knocked out, and then he can come up and Sledgehammer for 120, and that'll put the Buzzwole and the Garbiter at 30 HP left. See the knockout, and I think he has Choice Band in hand, but he doesn't have to take this knockout. He can play for that play. So Rockruff comes down. Yeah, so there's the Choice Band. See, and he actually chooses. He's going to choose to leave the choice, and he actually benches the Remride here, which means this is definitely the line of play he's looking at. Hit this for 120, and then Jet Punch both of them. Then he could have attached a Choice Band here and get the knockout, but he's choosing not to because he knows he can KO both at once through Jet Punch. The Broken Hill should stick, so he can use that whenever he wants. So he doesn't actually have to get the Buzzwole GX right now, and that's probably best because if he gets the Buzzwole GX right now, then you know, Ian could go chase it and Knuckle Impact it potentially. So yeah, he's choosing not to. He's just going to go with the 120, and he's setting up the play to completely play around Beast Ring, completely play around Sledgehammer. We'll see if he has it on the next turn. Ideally, Ian wants to end here. That's not an end, so he's leaving Igor with the 7-card hand. I'm pretty sure Igor has the play in his hand. We'll see. I've actually not watched any of. I mean, up to this point, I think the most I watched was some of the finals, but yeah, I haven't really watched any of the matches. Even when I was at the event. Yeah, that'll be a pretty big swing from Igor if he has that play. Yeah, so Ian knows this, and he's like, "Well, I think I actually have to retreat here." That it will require it'll require Igor to have one more card in his hand. It looks like he's going to the Baby Buzz, but I think he's already attached for this turn, so that means he'd be conceding doing any damage this turn. Which is, I mean, if you're not doing any damage this turn, maybe he has like a Guzma KO on the Rockruff or Remride next turn as a follow up. So Igor's looking for Guzma. I think is the only thing he needs. I see the energy. He has Brooklet. He has Ultra Ball, so he should be able to find the Buzzwole GX and draw the 3 prizes here, no matter what. He also has Artillery in hand, which means Garbiter will be shut off and won't have a way of coming back into play next turn, which means Artillery is ready to go even if Ian has an N. So as long as Igor has the Buzz GX and a Guzma, it doesn't look like it yet because he attaches the energy to Rockruff, and he's just going to go ahead and punch for 120. He can now do the same thing. He can knock out the Buzzwole GX and the active Baby Buzzwole. There's the Guzma on the Rockruff. So yeah, Ian did have a play as a follow-up. So I think we're going to have to actually see get the Remride. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to actually see a Guzma top deck here from Igor. Maybe then he doesn't want to put the Buzzwole GX in play because then it can get chased and knocked out. Igor's thinking. I think you just send up the Baby Buzzwole here. Yeah, he's probably looking for Guzma top deck. Looks like a strong energy there. Yeah, I don't think he's really waiting on anything at this point. He does not have Guzma in hand. So he could actually still get like a Beast Ring knockout this turn. He has Beast energy in hand, and then next turn he could look for the Jet Punch play. So yeah, okay, so he has that. So he has the Beast Ring. Yeah, you definitely don't want to give the option to Ian to chase a Buzz GX though, because if Ian had been able to knock out a Buzz GX, Igor wouldn't have been able to use Beast Ring this turn. There's the Beast energy. So now he just needs a Float Stone, and then next turn he can look for the Guzma play. 3, 6, 7. Need a Float Stone here from Igor. There's the float. He has 2 Max Elixirs as well. I wouldn't be surprised if these just don't hit at all. He doesn't have a lot of energy left in the deck. Max. There we go. We got 1 for 2 is pretty solid. It's definitely reasonable at this point from Igor. With how few energy is left. 3 Max Elixir. All right. Yeah. Second Beast Ring. Okay, sure. Just 1 though. Yeah, there was not much energy left in the deck. That's all you need really though. As long as you get the Guzma or like a Choice Band Strong Energy or something. Okay, so we see the you just GX here, I think. It's possible Ian whiffs energy. Actually, Ian doesn't really have a good response here. He needs Beast Ring, Strong, Choice Band, or Fighting Fury Belt. There's Beast. Okay, there's Beast Ring. Okay, so he has the response. So it'll be down to if Igor has Guzma or not. Guzma wins Igor the game. Second Beast Ring, yeah. You want to just thin out the deck. Yeah, the energy there makes sense. If you had a second one, I think he'd put a second one, but he probably only has 1. If your active Buzzwole just gets knocked out instead of Igor hitting the thing. I think we definitely want to see an N here from Ian. I'm not even sure what he used now. I was using Mysterious Treasure. Okay. Just get a Lele, Brooklet Hill for the Buzzwole. Okay. That's what's going on. Yeah, we definitely want to see an end here from Ian if he has it. Definitely want to make Igor's hand less if possible. It doesn't look like he has it, which means if Igor has Guzma, and he does, that's going to be the game. Jeff Hunt for the 3 prizes at the end. Okay, yeah, so I mean that game was pretty close actually. They were both running low on stuff there at the end. If Igor didn't have the Guzma, I think Ian definitely would have closed it out on the following turn. I think Ian was down to 1 prize there at the end, right? Yeah, so Ian just really needed an end there to close it out. He did not get it though. Yeah, he did not quite get the end. Or did not have the end at the end there to close it out. So that's kind of unfortunate for Ian. He didn't even have a chance to try and like play around because you definitely end there. I think Igor's hand is pretty big. Let's see. Yeah, he's got a pretty big end. You would definitely end there if you had the end. So yeah, Ian didn't even get the end. He definitely wanted to try and end there at the very least to try and stop it. Igor still has potential to hit the Guzma. Igor was looking for that Guzma a couple turns ago though, for sure. He was hoping to have the Guzma a couple turns ago to pull off this play, because this play would have been huge if he had had it like 2 turns ago. He would have access to Artillery, Diancie, down to 2 prizes. Like Igor would have been so far ahead. So yeah, he was looking for this play a while ago, but he's going to use it to close out the game, which is still pretty good. Yeah, and that played out. I mean, these games were playing pretty smooth. I think the only thing like I didn't like on Ian's side was, one, not playing for special energy more aggressively, because you don't know how the game's going to play out. Usually it devolves into jet punches early from Ian's side, so you want the stronger beast energy to do more, put on more pressure with the jet punches. And the other thing was just like putting Buzzwolves out aggressively when you haven't seen how Igor is going to develop his side of the board yet. So a couple things on Ian's side. Igor, I mean, Igor played a pretty clean game. It was what you'd expect from him. Igor, the only thing was like that RegiRoc when he like Ultra Balled for it or Cynthia and then Ultra Balled for it again. Should have just benched it the first time. But that's about it. Yeah, pretty clean games overall. Not as much input for me on these games as there has been in some of the past rounds. But I mean, that's what you want to see from the later rounds. And of course, we're in top 4. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links for my Twitch, my Twitter, down in the description below. Check that stuff out if you're interested. And I'll be back soon with the finals. I think we have Igor versus Will. BuzzRoc versus BuzzRoc. Igor does have the triple baby, so I definitely favor him going into it. I haven't watched the games yet personally, so it'll be interesting. And I'll be back soon with those guys. Peace.